Hello everyone, welcome to Conversations with Arundathi. I am your host Arundathi Ashok, and today we are talking about home gardening and how even a complete beginner can start this amazing practice. And with the pandemic, we all learned that getting vegetables and fruits can be a little hard at certain times. So learning gardening is really important. And we also learned that there's a lot of pesticides in these vegetables and fruits. And with research indicating that the rise in chronic illnesses like endometriosis, PCOS, psoriasis, that pesticides have a huge effect on these illnesses. So this is a better time for all of us to learn about gardening. So today's episode, we are talking to an advocate about gardening and her journey in helping little ones to join this amazing practice. So let me introduce you to Aaisha Fahad. She is an advocate and expert on gardening and eco-friendly living. She's also the second secretary at the High Commission of Pakistan in Colombo. And she runs a blog by the name of Journey of a Diplomat Mom on Instagram, where she regularly talks about home gardening, raising bilingual kids, women issues, and her career as a female diplomat. Welcome, Aaisha. Thank you so much for joining. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Arundathi. Very happy to be here today. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. So let's jump straight in. Yeah. So let me know, how did you get into gardening, home gardening?
So I'd say, like a lot of other people, it was actually the pandemic and the resultant lockdown that got me into starting gardening. Yeah. I was actually interested in gardening from from a very long time. Yeah. But honestly, I did not get the time to do it with my work and my little one. So with the lockdown and working from home, I felt that, I had time on my hands. And so I was actually looking for something to do other than, working on my laptop and looking after the little one. So that's when I decided that I should actually, start practicing gardening and see how it goes. So that's how it started. And then I fell in love with gardening. And then it continued. Yeah, so now I proudly call myself the plant mummy of some 80 plants that I have in my home. Yeah.
Impressive.
So that's how it all started. Yes.
That's amazing. That's really inspiring. So now, how would you suggest a complete beginner would start like gardening? Say everyone has very limited space these days, not like big gardens like those days. Yeah. What are your advice? What are your tips for a complete beginner?
So, yeah, you rightly mentioned the space issues. I think that's what prevents a lot of us from starting gardening. Mm-hmm. And I face the same issue, especially in cities like Colombo, where you have a lot of vertical construction. Not everybody has a garden space to, start practicing that. So, thankfully, I had a balcony in my apartment. I live in an apartment as well. So I had balcony space, and I think I've utilized it quite a lot. There's still a lot of space left that can still be utilized. But I think a garden, if you have the will, if you have the passion for gardening, I think it can be started anywhere, in your balcony, in your windowsill, on the rooftop. You don't need to have like a lot of plants to have your own garden. It can be just a few plants. So I think with beginners, that's one thing. Space issues, don't be disappointed with that. Number two is that you should not have very high expectations. Like if you start gardening and you think that, okay, I'm going to plant today and maybe in a week I'll have all the veggies ready, it doesn't. Gardening, what it has taught me is a lot of patience. You have to wait a lot. And plants are like children, each and every plant has its own needs, its own demands. So it's a time-taking job. It's just like having pets in your home, you need to give them attention. Yeah. So with plants also, I think don't have too high expectations and start with things that are easier to grow so you don't get disappointed. So, veggies like spinach or chilies, green chilies, tomatoes, these are very easy to grow. So start with things like that, and once you get the hang of it, then you can, experiment with other fruits and vegetables and flowering plants also.
Right. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that actually I didn't even think of tomatoes. So where do you get like the seeds? Where do you start? Like you get the vegetables, or how do you start with the seeds? You get it from somewhere in Colombo, or how does?
So I advocate for sustainable gardening. So I don't think there's any single plant in my house. I'm talking about vegetables and fruits that I've actually, bought the seeds for. I use my kitchen scraps. We always use tomatoes, green chilies, brinjals, capsicums, these things, they're commonly used.
Right.
So what I do is I use the kitchen scraps, and I've grown tomatoes like that, green chilies like that. It's very easy. So you don't even need to spend money and, worry about where to get seeds from, especially with this situation, when you cannot frequently visit nurseries and all.
Right.
So I think kitchen scraps are the easiest way to grow your own veggies.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. Yeah, definitely starting there. And I actually love your Instagram page. I mean, you share the little one joining in the gardening and with the friends and young moms. How do you advise like young partners, young parents to get their partners and their kids to get involved in this? Because it's very important that they do.
Yeah. Actually, I feel that children, they learn best from example. So if you're doing something, they're bound to follow you, whatever that may be. So even with my son, what I've noticed is that when I started, gardening, he would just watch me, and then he would ask me, okay, Mama, what are you doing? And then he would come and join. So if children are joining, you don't discourage them and don't worry that they're going to make a mess, they're going to spread the soil here and there, and your floor is going to be dirty and all. Let them experiment.
Yeah.
So what I did was I got him a little small gardening set as well. And then when I used to, do my gardening, I used to ask him to bring his set along, and then he would help me. So now whenever I have to water my plants, or if I have to, shift my plants or something, I always ask him, okay, Mohammed, come and join me. Will you help me? I want to water the plants. And he's very excited. He feels accomplished that I'm helping. Yeah. So he likes to water, sometimes over water the plants. Yeah, and he helps me. Like if I have to shift the plant from one place to another, he'd hold it with me. And what I've really found out through gardening, because you mentioned, doing gardening with your family, it's very therapeutic. It's very therapeutic because with the lockdown and all, I felt that, I've suffered from anxiety from a very long time, and some depression also. So with the lockdown and all, with nothing else to do, and being at home all day long, I think gardening was one thing that really, really calmed me down. And I really, really feel that, it helps cure your anxiety and your depression. So one thing to bond as a family, I think, would also be to do gardening together. So I would really encourage young parents to do it together with their children and also with their partners. It's very, very helpful.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Yeah, I know everyone is kind of struggling with the pandemic. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm sure our listeners will also benefit from those tips. And thank you again so much for sharing your wisdom. Really, really happy. And thank you for joining. Now we are going to move on to the fun and silly rapid fire round.
Sure.
So no judgment. It's just silly fun. Yeah, just whatever comes to your mind, just say the first word or the explanation or whatever. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So if you could be a plant, what would you be and why?
If I could be a plant.
Yes.
Very hard question. I think I would love to be a fruit tree. Because I think that it doesn't only look beautiful, but it really helps all the living beings, be it animals or humans. So I'd really love to be a fruit tree.
Yeah, good answer. Really good. I was thinking about it. It's a good answer. Okay, so who is your favorite cartoon character and why?
My favorite cartoon character. It's been a long, long time. But I do watch cartoons with my little one. I think these days I'd say it would be Ruby from Max and Ruby.
Okay, okay.
Because she's so polite that I wish all cartoon characters were like that.
Aww.
So yeah, Ruby from Max and Ruby.
Ruby is okay. Do you have a favorite quote or anything that comes to your mind, or something that you go by, you know, for your life, like life quote, something?
Life quote. Actually, there are quite a lot. But I think something that really struck a chord with me recently, and I try to live by it, is that if someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Oh, okay, okay. That's a good one. That was a good one. Okay, awesome. Are you a morning or night person?
I'd say I'm a morning person. I can wake up early. I can wake up at 5:30, but staying up late is very tough for me.
Same
yeah,
here.
I'm a morning person.
Awesome.
And I feel more productive when I get up early.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. Perfect. What's one thing that drives you nuts about gardening? Would you have anything, or just a kind of?
Yeah, there's one thing that really drives me nuts, and that's those mealy bugs. When they come on the vegetable plants, like they're those small white insects, pests actually.
Yeah.
So when they love vegetable plants. So when they infect, it's like it's a real headache to actually get rid of them. So I think that really drives me nuts. Yeah.
I'm sure. All right, perfect. You did really good. Thank you again, Aaisha. Is there like a so if someone wants to reach out to you, you would be more active on Instagram, isn't it? That your Instagram?
Yeah. I try to be active. Yes.
Yes, you do. Yes. Okay, perfect. I'll actually mention the link in the show notes so people can connect with you.
Sure.
Thank you so much again, Aaisha, for joining. Hope you had a good time.
For having me.
I really had fun and learned.
Same here.
So thanks again, and hopefully we'll connect soon. And have a great day, and I will speak to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Arundathi.
Bye.
Bye.
That is it for today, and I hope you found this valuable. I truly am inspired to try gardening, and I will be sharing my journey on social media. And I would absolutely love if you could share pictures of your journey so we can motivate each other. And if you have any questions, please reach out to my social links down in the description. And I will speak to you soon, my friends. Have a blessed day. Bye for now.